So today I'm going to be talking about healthy energetic boundaries for radical evolution and what is energetic integrity. I really hope that this presentation will help you to feel more embodied on your journey, wherever you are on your journey. I've filled this presentation with helpful ideas and thoughts that you can focus on around keeping yourself safe, strong, and protected. And we do this by strengthening our field, having a coherent container. I'm going to be talking about what healthy energetic boundaries actually look like. But most importantly, what do healthy boundaries feel like? That's the question I get every day in my practice. And as we're looking for a deeper relationship with other and the divine, how we can have both. So I'll be talking for the first 20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to take us through a 10-minute chakra activation meditation. So we get to experience ourselves as a healing transmission that is also healing for us. So the world is becoming a better place, open to learning, and a strong desire I see to have integrity on a subtle energetic level. And this is something that we don't necessarily talk about on a daily basis, but it is absolutely something we encounter in every personal encounter with people in our daily lives. And some of the most asked questions I get from you guys and my clients are, how do I know what's happening with my energy? How do I protect myself from negativity? And you can move to slide 2 if you haven't already. How do I protect myself from negative people or toxic environments? How can I not let it affect my energy? How can I be my own person, fully individuated, in alignment with my authentic needs and personal expression, and also be in relationship with other? And I think one of the biggest questions, or I would say dilemmas I find in the Kundalini community is, how can I be spirit living in a physical body and have a conscious relationship with myself and still live in this mundane world? How can I be both spirit and physical at the same time? And the way that we're taught to be in relationship in this world tends to split the two. But I'm going to take you through how we can have an experience of both being in relationship with each other and even cupped inside each other. There's a tremendous amount of pain and confusion because mostly in society today, there's a lack of acknowledgement to energy and even an understanding of how we run our energy. Our emotions and thoughts shift our energy moment to moment. And we have agreements in society today, in business and relationships around what integrity looks like, and even with our words, what integrity means with our words. But I invite you to open up to what would integrity feel like on an energetic level. And this in and of itself is a radical and important step forward. The acknowledging and taking responsibility for ourselves on an energetic level, it heals us and the world around us simultaneously. So let's go ahead and move to slide 3. One of my teachers, Barbara Brennan, was one of the pioneers in this work of energetic integrity and what that looks like. And she was one of the first people to map out the human energy field and all these relational dynamics that are happening every day that we don't talk about. And I invite, this is from her, this is actually a picture from her first book, Hands of Light, where she goes into great detail. And she also has 2 other books, Light Emerging and Core Light, which also go into this. But have a look at these pictures, because I'm sure you can find that you are either doing some of these with certain people, or I'm sure you can recognize when other people are doing this to you. I talk to my nephews about this a lot. They're constantly sending these little energetic like zingers out to the other one, and it hurts. And so we talk about that. You know, society teaches us sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me, and that's actually not true. I see this every day in my practice. I'm taking darts, energetic darts, arrows, knives in the back, you know, from jealousy or gossiping. We actually see this in the field, and imagine what life would be like if we taught our kids, hey, that's not nice. Stop throwing energetic, you know, arrows at your brother. It hurts. So often I'll see in the dynamic between my 2 nephews, you know, the older one will send an energetic, you know, arrow into his heart, and it hurts, and he'll start crying, and then he'll physically, you know, hit his brother, and then he'll get in trouble because we take into acknowledgement, you know, physical lack of respect and integrity. But in essence, his brother hurt him first. And we have conversations around this about being responsible with our energy. And I talk about being the, you know, are we being the superhero with our energy? Or are we being the villain? Are we wanting people to hurt as much as we do? Or are we using our energy in a way that heals the world around us? So moving to the next slide, 4, one of the most common ways moving into, this is another picture from Hands of Light this is Light Emerging, from Barbara Brennan's books. One of the most common ways that I learned to cope growing up was to escape or shift my field like a chameleon and change energetically into something that was pleasing for the people around me, so that I would feel safe and I would feel seen and I would be acknowledged. And this unfortunately left me very unprotected. And I got very sick. By the age of 23, I was completely bedridden with rheumatoid arthritis, because as I had pulled inward and sort of out of my body, I was no longer inhabiting my body. And therefore, if my energy wasn't filling my field up, something else was. And so I was constantly metabolizing the energy from other people and in the relational space around me in my body. And our bodies aren't meant to do that. We're meant to generate our energy from inside and have that for ourselves. And in turn, the radiance and the transmission of our energy is palpable and accessible to the world around us. So that is one of the biggest concepts that I give my clients coming in who are really energetically sensitive. Most, especially when we're talking about protection, because there's a lot of people out there that talk about shooting energy back to the person who gave it to you. And it's sort of like throwing a mud pie back in someone's face. What that does is it puts you in an active push, and you can kind of see that in the picture here. There's a woman and she's pushing energy. Well, if we receive something that doesn't feel great, we don't want to push that back, because that's actually disconnecting our energy. We want to send that to source. And there is a way that we can gently move it out of our field and past the edge of our field to move in the relational space out there. It doesn't have to be in here, and we don't have to involve ourselves by getting caught in this push and pull back and forth. So let's talk about a healthier way of being with ourselves and the world around us. Let's move to slide 5. So I liken the human energy field. We have a beautiful human energy field here with clear boundaries. And I really think of the human energy field working like the cell. So a healthy cell makes its energy internally, and it upwells that energy from the inside, but it also needs to bring in support. For example, oxygen, minerals, glucose, proteins. The cell has receptors on the outside in which it's able to acknowledge and sense, that's in service to me, I need that. And it takes that oxygen in, and then it closes the boundary, the outside membrane. If a cell's in a toxic environment, it's not going to open its membrane up and take that in. So we can really use this analogy when being with ourselves. What would it feel like to be able to run my energy however I need, however I want? This is real sovereignty. But at the edge of my field, make contact with and acknowledge the relational space around me. Do I feel safe right now? No, that's okay. I can put like a stop at the edge of my field. That's all right. But I don't have to make my whole body into a stop. I don't have to shut down all my chakras in my entire body to get away from this person or this toxic situation. What I feel being in sovereignty and having energetic integrity is from the core feeling safe inside, and then having the appropriate boundary on the edge of the field. So and this is what cells, this is what they call selective transport. This is what cells do. So a lot of our pain and confusion is due to how we learn to rewire ourselves into unhealthy societal norms. We're taught to do this. We have false belief systems about the world works that we learn from a very young age. And this actually creates sort of receptors at the edge of our field that disconnect us from acknowledging what's really there. Oh, I feel uncomfortable in this situation, but I feel like I need to give this person a hug because, they're part of the group. Or I got bit by a dog when I was younger, and then all I see are that dogs are scary. So we learn these things, and then we act disproportionately to the relational environment around us. So let's move to slide 6. We all learn at a very young age to save ourselves, and we literally redirect our energy from the center, from our meridians, and move them into different pathways. We bypass certain areas of our body. We move our awareness out of our power centers and our chakras. And this turns us literally into like contorted energy pretzels. Like that's how we're walking around all day. And as we get older, we wonder why we're in so much pain. We wonder why we can't get what it is we want in the world around us. One of the most common chakras and areas I see this is in the Heart Chakra. Let's go ahead and move to slide 7. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we're taught to love. As you can see in this picture, there's a front and a back to each chakra. Okay, so for example, in the front of the heart chakra, this is how we are in relationship with others. In the back of our heart chakra, which is located in between the shoulder blades, this is how we're in relationship to ourselves and our self-love. Have you ever been around someone who feels really uplifting, or someone who just walks in the room and lights it up? And I'm sure that you can think about people that you would go to if you needed for nurturing, who have that like warm mama bear energy. This is really an example of someone who has a strong heart space where the front and the back of the heart are connected. You feel calm in their presence. You feel relaxed and at ease. There is a disarmoring that happens, and you feel open to share how you really feel. And so when we sit back from a place of, what if I don't have to push energy toward you? This is what we're taught. Oh, I'm sending you love. Oh, I'm falling in love with you, as if we don't have a choice. But a lot of this causes healthy to be pushed out of the field. And this can cause rips and tears. But most importantly, a very large heart chakra in the front, but not much going on in the back. And this is what we see when we get tired and exhausted, when we're dropping into that martyr role, like, hey, how come I'm here for everybody else and nobody's here for me? What we're doing is we're giving so much of our energy, more than we have. And this depletes our energy field. And we actually start pulling from our kidney essence, which is meant to stay inside of our body. We start giving that away. And that's was my story. As a child, I learned to be the helper and the mediator in my family and to fix things. And I just thought if I did all these things that I'd finally get the love back. But in so doing, I lost connection to myself and what real love is and what real love feels like. So imagine what it would feel like if you could let go from the push-pull of trying to deserve to be loved or capable of being loved or protecting yourself, from being hurt or drained. And what would it feel like to just be you? Let's move to slide 8. We have a divine spark in the center of each of our chakras. And I'm going to be taking you through this in the meditation that we're doing together. In the center of each of our chakras is our core essence. Okay, all our soul qualities from all our lifetimes and even our experiences in this lifetime. And they're stored, they're just sitting there waiting to be accessed and utilized by you. And when we allow our soul's qualities and abilities and essence when we allow ourselves to tap into it, and we have the courage to surrender inward to self and allow the expansion of these abilities and gifts to radiate outward from the central core of each chakra, we heal ourselves first and foremost. And as this light radiates outward to the edge of our field pulsates. And it begins to transmit our core qualities and essence to the world around us. So imagine being a healing transmitter of love. Imagine being a healing transmitter of truth, integrity, sovereignty, healthy power. All of these core qualities and abilities that we have are waiting to be accessed by us by coming inward And in so doing, we heal our deepest wounding, because our wounding was moving away from the core of our chakras, believing that I'm going to find love outside of myself, when actually love is right here. So in so doing, we become a healing transmission at the same time. And this is when we start to move into the spherical, non-dual reality, which allows for deep personal contact and therefore deep relational intimacy with other. And this is what allows us to be spiritual and live in the mundane. When we pull back into sitting in the divine spark and essence in the center of each of our chakras, there is a exuberant joy in pleasure in being in the expression of who we are. And it's in relationship with our personality and the outside world. So there's a sense of pure pleasure, but also there's an impersonal nature here that we can draw back into that actually holds the personal. If we get pulled out of center too far forward, we're going to be way over identified with the personality and the pain and the worry and the split between moving in and out of our field. And so in acknowledging that we're both an impersonal being and a personal being, that we are spiritual and that we are in a mundane world, we can sit in the activation of our core. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to move into the meditation. Okay. So right before we do that, though, I am going to mention that you can find me online at awakenyourpower.com. I do in-person sessions and also teach workshops on how to do this. I'm very, very passionate about teaching energetic sensitives and empaths how to fully drop into their core, because I do believe that we are powerful healing transmitters, and the world needs us and needs our light at this time. So feel free to reach out. And again, Barbara Brennan and her school, the Barbara Brennan School of Healing, is a great resource. And you can find her books online on Amazon. So moving into the meditation now, and we can just leave the slide on slide 10. I invite you to take a few deep breaths. So we're going to relax into our body and move first and foremost into receptivity. And how I like to do this is just imagining myself leaning back. Right now I'm leaning back into my chair and I'm really feeling the support. Like there's something there behind me that has my back, and just allowing my physical body to relax into that sensation, and my emotional body to relax into this sensation of something larger, this larger aspect of me, and also this larger aspect of the divine that's holding me. And I give myself permission to feel the pleasure in that. That's the key. Giving yourself permission to feel the pleasure in the experience is what brings more of the experience. And then with the next breath, dropping into the cellular awareness in the body and just feeling the spaciousness here, and feeling the larger aspect of you and the larger aspect of the divine holding all of you, holding you on an energetic level and supporting every cell in your body. And I invite you to bring your awareness. We're going to start from the root chakra, activating all the way up to the crown. So bringing both feet onto the floor, I like to rub my thighs or slap my thighs and kind of feel into my legs. Let's drop into the root chakra, that vibrant red. Allowing these red roots to drop into the earth, feeling the support of the divine mother and earth supporting us. And here, seated in the center of the root chakra, you will find a divine spark of energy. I see it as a divine golden spark. And just allow yourself to feel the pleasure of being in your body, the physicality, how your physical body supports you structurally, the joy that you get from using your body, moving your body. And just allow this energy to come up, breathing up energy through the roots from the center of the earth up into the root chakra. And allowing the pleasure of being in your physical body to begin to radiate outward from the center. And with the next breath, we're going to come up to the sacral chakra, that vibrant orange, deep orange color. And I want you to go ahead and think about your relationship to your power. Do you feel the need to push through your daily life? Is that how you get things done? Is there possibly a fear of moving into and forward into what you want to do in life? Just think about your roles in power. And as we move to the divine spark in the center of the sacral chakra, here resides our creativity, our creative life force. This movement of inspiration and our initial impressions that just leap forth. You can imagine, like with children, just this effervescent excitement and aliveness. And when you've reached this, you know that you have found the center of your sacral chakra, and just allow your joy to be here, feeling the pleasure in your aliveness, and allow that to radiate outward from this central point. And with the next breath, we're going to move up to the solar plexus chakra, that vibrant lemon yellow. And just think about where do you feel confusion in your life or lack of clarity? How is your relationship with your authentic needs? How do you feel in connection to your sovereignty? Is there a balance between your intuition and your intellect? Or do you use your intellect to judge and turn off your intuition? This is a place in the solar plexus area where intuition and intelligence meet in the very core of the divine spark. And this is where we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, our authentic needs, what is in service to us and what is not. So allowing yourself to drop into your divine spark here in the core of your solar plexus chakra. Allow your deep inner knowing of what's right for you to expand outward from the core and begin filling you from the inside out. And now with the next breath, we're going to move up to the heart chakra. How are you in relationship with others, getting your needs met? Do you tend to put yourself first? Or maybe you tend to feel pulled back from others, have a fear of being in groups, or a fear of betrayal. Just allow yourself to come into the center of your heart chakra. And I invite you to think about your deepest experience in relationship with other. And that could be with other people. It could be with your pet. It could be with nature. Your deepest experience of love in relationship with other. And just allow your cellular memory of your deepest experience of love to come into contact with the divine spark in the center of your heart chakra, and allow this love to radiate outward in all directions, 360 degrees, front and back, side to side. Allow your love to hold you, to heal you and your heart from the inside out. And really allowing that expression and transmission and radiance to radiate out of the back of the heart chakra too, so your self-love center is nurtured. And with the next breath, we're going to move up into the throat chakra. Our throat chakra, this is the ability to receive support. It's not all about our output and speaking our divine truth. Well, that is there, but in order to speak our divine truth, we need to be supported. There is a divine precision to all things, and we are fully supported as we open up our throat chakra by unlimited potential. So allowing the front and the back of your chakras to open and meet in the center of your throat, receiving unlimited support and potential from the divine precision that surrounds us, opening ourselves to this larger picture. I am a receiver and a transmitter, feeling your essence here, your divine truth in the divine spark in the center of your throat chakra. Allow this energy to expand outward in all directions, 360 degrees. Feel the pleasure in the synchronicity and the precision that's here. And with the next breath, we're going to move up into the sixth chakra, feeling the bliss here. This is where we connect in with our relational experience of the divine. So allowing the back of the sixth chakra, this connection to the larger expansive experience of spirit and that bliss, and also the psychic abilities and the vision to open in the front of the sixth chakra, and allow the tips of the front and the back of the sixth chakra to meet in the center of the pineal gland. And this is where it gets really bright, allowing either your divine spark here, which is also in the center of your pineal gland, to become activated and feel this diffuse white light radiate outward in all directions spherically. This allows us to see the whole picture when we allow ourselves to see from the pineal gland in a spherical way. And moving up to the crown chakra, connecting into divine wisdom and knowledge, allowing ourselves to open and receive all the divine and spiritual aspects from the higher chakras to come down through our crown chakra, activating, igniting, and radiating outward in the center of our head. We're going to bring the divine consciousness down into the center of the heart. And we're going to bring the divine mother's energy up through the body to meet in the center of the heart. And just allow yourself to feel yourself as a transmission of the divine. Feel how you are love and how your love is healing you from the inside out. Feel how you are an expression of love. From this place, you are a healing transmission. And I just invite you to become aware of the room and just notice how might you be able to stay in this state of this spherical being within yourself and in relationship with the relational space around you, and just stay curious as you move through your daily life. What would it be like to be in this activated state, having a conversation with somebody else? And what kind of healing you would give to them just by being all of who you are. And I thank you so much for this opportunity to share this with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on awakenyourpower.com.